Hey, we are live from the backyard. How you guys doing? Ed here from the Great Indoors. I'm attempting to go swivel it into the horizontal. Is it in the horizontal or? Okay, I guess we're gonna do it in the vertical. Sorry about that, everyone. Let me adjust my tripod over here. How you guys doing tonight? Four people in the chat. I'm waiting on Michelle. She's coming out in a few minutes. What is up, you guys? Happy Sunday night. Let me see what we got here. What's the picture looking like? Okay, we got Dr. Suss in the house. Hold on. And Lisa Johnston. Hold on, I gotta adjust this even more, you guys, because this is really getting tricky here. There we go. And Meow is in, all right. It's been a couple years since I did a live stream of this nature where you guys were into, well, it didn't work out as well because the internet wasn't working so well. Penny, we got Pennsylvania Low Roller. Hi, Ed. And Michelle. And Morpheus. Frank the neighbor was invited, but hang on, you guys. I gotta stoke the fire over here. Hold on. This is the campfire, and I gotta add some fuel to the fire because we got some cool, dark and creepy stories for you tonight. It's gonna be pretty cool. I'm hoping Michelle's gonna come out. We were at the zoo today, the Cleveland Zoo, with Candace and Mike. They invited us over because he's had a work picnic there. And boy, was that fun, but it was also pretty humid. And we ended up leaving a little early because the heat was getting to be too much for Michelle. But it was getting a lot for everybody. Her ankle was starting to bother her, and I just wanted to... There's going to be a video, so you're going to see that. It's going to be really cool. Oh, God, yeah, I had this thing going really well. 17 people in the chat. We're trying to get this fire up and running here. Get a few more people in before I begin the storytelling. It's going to be pretty cool. I got these stories off of Reddit, and they are pretty cool. I want to give Michelle a chance to get out here because once I start reading, I won't be... But the stories are not long, okay? But after each story, I would definitely like you to... You were at Cedar Point today? Yeah, it was tough at the zoo too, you know? Did you get to go on the water rides or anything like that? Michelle loves the water rides there. If I'm dressed appropriate for it, I will definitely go on the water rides there too. What is Raging Bob sled, or I don't know. We had season tickets a couple years ago. Cleveland Crow fan. Hey, Ed and Michelle. Beautiful evening. Hey, yeah, absolutely. It's beautiful out. Brown season starts in a couple weeks. They had the last preseason game. Didn't go well. Yeah, it was definitely a humid day. But the good news is, before we left, I ended up putting the air on in the house, and that's why Michelle is still in there. But I'm hoping that she's going to come out. I got this chair set up for her and everything. Come on, fire. Get going over here. Hold on. Well, this will get the fire going. There we go. Yeah. Watch that burn. Oh wait, this is not good. There we go. I watched the original. Oh God. I almost had fresh smoked Polish sausage over there. The original Planet of the Apes last night. Boy, was that good. I enjoyed that. With Charlton Heston and Kim Hunter. Twyla is in. Hey Twyla, how you doing? Michelle's in the chat. She's out there. She don't want to come out. I don't know. Do you guys need to come to Pittsburgh? You know, the plan was to go to Pittsburgh today. There was a restaurant there that I wanted to go check out called Golden Palace. It's got a buffet in there, but it's also got, they also say that the food is actually better off the menu than the buffet. So the video was going to be all about me showing the buffet, but not eating off the buffet, of course, and then ordering the menu. Have you ever heard of Golden Palace before? Hi, Twyla. I do appreciate that, Twyla. Thank you for the referral on Mike's Place. That was really a fun video that we did. Me and Michelle both enjoyed it, and it's still getting a lot of views. And that Ding Ho video that we did from Columbus, that was courtesy of Jason and Kathy from Ohio Cat. So if you haven't subscribed to their channel, they were the reason why we did that video. They invited us out for that one over there. It is good there? Good. Because the only reason why I knew about Golden Palace is I Googled it, and they get like a 4.1 on Google review. You and your wife are swingers? That's fun. So when you go to a park and you see a swing set, you go on there? That's pretty cool. Time to get to Fast Eddie's and Honey. Yeah, Twyla, I'm sorry, but Michelle actually suggested that one today, and we took a pass. I took a pass on it because I just wanted to get back home. We did not go to the ice cream store, Honey Hut Ice Cream. She wanted to go, and so blame me. It was not her fault we didn't go. It was my fault. Okay, now we're gonna, Michelle, grab a chair right here. I'll back off the fire here. Michelle has decided to join us. There she is.
Hey everyone.
You got you got your snuggle shirt on. All right.
Hey everyone. How's it going?
You gotta lower your volume though, Michelle.
Oh, that's too hot. Oh, God, is that hot?
All right, the gang is all here. You right?
No.
Okay. All right, you guys ready for story number one? Okay. You know, when I first started doing these live streams, it was very tough because I didn't know how the camera was going to look or whether the internet was going to be good. And it's kind of you never know until you know. You got to just do it and try how it goes, and hopefully it'll work better for you guys this time. All right, I did some searches on some stories here. So Michelle, did you have a good time at the zoo today?
Oh, I had a fabulous time. It was just so hot to walk around, and it's really hot here too today. Right now.
Okay, here we go. This is the first story. It's called The Long Last Walk, and it's by SirJosephGrizzly. Okay, this is off of Reddit over here. If you guys can see this, it's called The Long Last Walk. It's got 93 likes on it, and it's only been posted like 12 hours ago. So here we go. And Mike is in. We have two cats, Morpheus, two cats. Not Cuddles, Christmas and Raquel. Okay, The Long Last Walk by SirJosephGrizzly. What are you frying for? I turned to my fellow condemned in a holding cell where we were spending our final hours. Moida, the voice behind the rancid teeth said swarthily. Features said in a cartoonish accent, what about you, Mac? Something worse, much worse. Crime was never tolerated, but there was zero leniency whatsoever nowadays. If you broke the law, even if you were riddled with remorse as I was, there would be hell to pay and hell to visit. Didn't matter if you were a misguided babe, nor could you sweat out the statute of limitations. They would get you eventually. I've been rotting in captivity since I was 33 years old for a crime I committed when I was 15. The last 12 years of waiting on false hopes for parole were just a ploy to get me to wallow in my guilty agony even more. It's time, the warden collected me as two behemoths who could serve as guards in the NBA just as well as they could be in a penitentiary starred holes into my corrupted soul. But my last meal, I pleaded, having subsisted merely on gruel and oddward way rat since my apprehension. Scum like you don't have rights. One of the goons ripped my emaciated body right through the bars and pushed me out into the convoy to my damnation. Nightsticks prodding my back, leading me down the colorless mile. The state wasn't going to roll out no carpet for someone like me. I could hear the screams of those I hurt. Sure, there was no blood, but there was no such thing as a victimless crime. God help me, I cried as they strapped me to the chair. Any last words? Yes, tell me why. Don't care. Hasta la vista, asshole. The switch was flipped, microwaving my innards. Even the hearts that bled the most cheered as the voltage reduced me to a bunch of splattered stains. All that just to put a few free songs on my phone. I don't even like Avenged Sevenfold much anymore. What did you guys think of that one? That was The Long Last Walk. All right. Pierogi Palace in Willoughby was awesome. Thought of you guys. Yeah, that's me. Are you talking about the one in Willoughby? We were in there, and they were really hoping to get us. We're gonna end up going back there and doing a video of that place, and they're gonna show us how they make the pierogies and everything like that from scratch. So it's gonna be an in-depth video. I'm glad that you reminded me of this because I've kind of overlooked it with everything going on this summer over here. Michelle, what did you think of that story? Did you follow it?
I was watching your chat.
Oh, okay. All right, let's go on to the next story. Okay, this one's a shorter one over here. This one's called What's for Dinner by K.G. Lewis. And this was posted 4 hours ago, and it's already got 37 likes on it. Okay, here we go. Again, this is What's for Dinner by K.G. Lewis. All right, he set the tray on the kitchen counter. What protein do you want to have for dinner? He swept his hand across the arranged cuts of meat. His wife eyed the assortment. That liver looks pretty good. We could fry it up with some onions and have it with a side of asparagus. That sounds good to me, he replied. Do you want to cook it or should I? You should, she said. I cooked last time. Okay, he said, but I'm going to need you to do me one favor. What's that? He pointed at the tray of meat. can you toss this stuff in the cadaver downstairs and sew it back up? He needs to be ready for the viewing tomorrow morning. Da-da-da. There you go. What's for Dinner by K.G. Lewis. I guess they were, Ed will never eat asparagus. That's what you took away. That's true. Well, I used to have to eat asparagus as a kid because my mom kind of made me eat it. It was not something that I would enjoy. Okay.
Where'd you find these stories, Ed?
This was off of Reddit. There's like a community of short, scary stories that they have on there. Okay. Next one. This one is by Candy Horror 3LP, and this was posted 43 minutes ago. So this is a newer story. And they call this one, They Heard Me and Soon They'll Find Me. Okay? They heard me and soon they'll find me. All right, here we go. Story number 3. I've been trying so hard to be quiet because of how afraid I am. As far as I can tell, there's only 2 of them, sometimes 3. I keep telling myself that I can take them, but I'm just not ready yet. Time feels like it doesn't exist. I don't know how long I've been in this attic. It's dusty, grimy, and full of clutter, but at least I have plenty of things to hide behind in an emergency. In order to get by, I've been eating the vermin that run around up here. It's mostly bugs and mice, but sometimes a bird or a squirrel will find its way in. It's disgusting, but it's all I have. It can take me several hours to catch something because of how slowly I have to move. The last thing I need is for them to hear me running after a mouse. And then again, they might also hear my stomach rumbling before that happens. During my free time, I daydream about how life was before these things got here. Remembering it makes me think of my family and how they took me from me. I could still hear my father yelling at me to run and hide right before they dissected him. I've heard that's what they do to us. Sometimes when I feel extra courageous, I'll sort through the clutter quietly, photo albums, family heirlooms, mixtapes, a lot of old clothes. It kicks up a lot of dust when I do it, but honestly, it's worth it. You learn a lot about these things through the useless things they keep in their attic. Today I finally hit my 5th growth spurt. A family of raccoons has found its way up into the attic, and it was an absolute feast. I knew I was going to grow, however, it was much larger and faster than I expected. The growth was instant, and I knocked several things over in the process. Now, nearly touching the top of the attic, I could hear them approaching in the entrance. This was what I've been waiting for. Soon they'll see me, and I'll get to watch their petrified faces with all of my eyes as they realize how screwed they are. I'll get to hear them scream as I separate the flesh from their bones. I'm sure to hit my next growth spurt very soon. End of story. So what do you guys think of that one? They heard me and soon they'll find me. Do you know what that was in the attic, Michelle? Do any of you guys, if you guys think you know what was in the attic, I think now's the time to put it in the chat. Who could be the first subscriber to figure out what was in the attic?
My guess is flowers.
Flowers? No. Flowers don't grow like that. Well, maybe it could be, I guess. But I don't know if they really dissect flowers.
He didn't get it. The movie, Flowers in the Attic.
Oh, Flowers in the Attic. Okay. I think it was a spider, you guys. I think it was a spider with the multiple. There you go, Mike. At least Mike is paying attention.
He doesn't have to deal with the heat over here.
Thank you, Mike. At least someone was paying attention out there. Hey, as long as they're watching, that's all that matters, all right? I'm just going to pretend that I'm just talking to you, Mike. This is called The Silent Witness by Roos85. This one's a good one. It's got 406 likes, and it was only posted one day ago.
Everyone thinks you're Vince Price, Mark.
Well, Mark Wald thinks I'm Vincent Price. Yeah.
Darkness.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Silent Witness by Ross85. Okay.
I'm going in.
You got to stay here, Michelle, because I need you to talk. All right, please, come on. Whenever I heard the familiar sound of a door opening, I would get excited. Molly had just taken her 2 young sons to soccer practice while I sat and waited patiently for them to get back. I was trying to keep myself entertained. A different sound caught my attention, a sound of breaking glass. Then the sounds of footsteps creeping around the house. A sense of fear washed over me as the door slowly opened and a masked figure crept into the room while whistling a creepy tune. The man in the mask walked slowly around the room, whistling in sheer delight. "Perfect," I heard him say as he began to conceal himself behind the curtain. I couldn't see him, but I could hear him breathing deeply. It wasn't long before I heard the sound of the front door opening. The sound of the masked intruder's breath intensified as Molly came into the room, unaware that someone was lurking in the shadows. She came over to greet me, as she always did. I tried my best to warn her, but it was too late. The maniac was already behind her, slipping a steel blade under her chin and slicing her throat. It didn't take long for Ben, the older of Molly's 2 kids, to walk in and find his mother holding her throat and gasping for breath as she tried to warn him of the danger that was still in the room. He never saw it coming. The killer plunged the knife into his spine and then finished him off with a slice to the throat. Alex had gone to his room and had no idea the man who had just murdered his brother and his mother was now making his way upstairs to finish what he started. After the killer was done, he came back to the room. The killer was careful to remove any evidence he left behind. He was very meticulous and knew exactly what he was doing. Before he left, he walked over to me and leaned down, lifting the mask and revealing his seemingly normal appearance. "It's funny. You're the only witness and you can't speak," he laughed as he turned and walked away. The heartbroken father eventually came home and discovered his whole world had been torn apart. After a little nap, men in white suits came into the house to gather evidence from the bodies that still laid on the floor. One of the men was whistling a familiar tune as he took pictures of the bodies. He took the camera away from his face to reveal, to my horror, the same man that committed those horrible acts. He turned to me and smiled. "Hey, little hamster, remember me? Do you want to hear what something is funny? I'm going to make it look like Dad did it." Da-da-da. Isn't that crazy? So there you go. There's a pretty creepy one there. Yeah, a lot of comments on that one. Let me see, do I got another one here for you guys? Any ones that I got to read next, I haven't proofread yet. But here's one. It's called The Clinic by 1000 and Amenities. All right, here we go. The Clinic. Marie settled into her hard waiting room chair, and although she had stopped being curious about her surroundings since the accident, out of habit, she cast an eye on the others. Like most modern healthcare settings for ordinary people, the waiting room was packed with suffering folk of all ages and genders. Marie, hang on a second, you guys. I gotta do something with this fire. I would think that someone would help, but no. Whoa. Box with the shop. Fire's dying here. And my next door neighbor is cutting his grass. Kind of late to be cutting grass, don't you think? I don't know. There we go. Hopefully this will get going.
Are you getting mosquito bites?
No, not really.
I am.
That's because you're very sweet. Okay, let's see. Let's pick up where we left off. Like most modern healthcare settings for ordinary people, the waiting room was packed with suffering folk of all ages and genders. Marie grimaced bitterly. Why? What was this beautiful young thing with flowing rainbow hair, dressed in a stunning red outfit, doing here? What possible reason? She stopped that train of thought.
Ugh.
It was none of her business. Anyone can need MAD at any time, and it is not our place to judge or inquire about the motives of others. That was from the mandatory video that she had watched before signing up for MAD. And in the moment, she had thought it was good advice. Ooh, that fire just came out really nice, didn't it? Half those waiting here visibly old and infirm. Marie was neither, and she thought with another grimace that those who saw her would wonder what she was doing here. A healthy-looking younger woman, middle-aged woman, neatly dressed. Not your typical candidate for medically assisted death. Perhaps they would assume advanced cancer, still in the early stages, and applaud her for taking matters into her own hands when she still could, saving the taxpayers' precious healthcare dollars. The kind of responsible, reasonable woman that would always be counted on to always make the right choice, like opting for MAD after a random car accident killed her two children, 11 and 21, leaving her bereft and without any reason to continue, which was the actual reason she was at the clinic. The numbers flipped and a loudspeaker announced, "Number 49. Marie glanced at her chit, even though she already knew her number was 62. Number 49. A faint rustle rippled through the waiting room. People stood, scrolled for a moment to look inquiringly at their neighbors. Number 49. A gray door opened and a health care staff poked their head out. The rainbow-haired person stood up, clutching the chit. "Come along, it's your turn." The staff member opened the door fully. For the first time since her child's death, Marie felt the glimmer of interest in her soul. She looked at the soft, hesitant face, beautifully made up, just like her daughter used to make herself up before a big event. A palpable miasma of impatience rose. At this point, they had already signed off on all the papers. There was no turning back, no change of decision. NCD. A staff member's hand crept toward the desk. Marie, who had just used to work in similar settings, guessed that what would alert the security to bring an unruly patient. Number 49 shook their head. "No." Marie felt a clear lightness when there had been a grinding darkness. She stood, walked over to number 49, and said in an authoritative mother's voice that she had so much practice in from over the years. "We can leave now if you like." Number 49 together, they walked out. I don't know about that one.
Ed, I'm going to moderate inside. I'm getting bit hard out
Okay.
here. I can't take
I don't know
it.
about that one. That one was a little weird.
Well, look who's reading it.
Let me read some of the comments. They need each other like they need your interpretation. How like it's unclear to me where exactly they're walking out toward, to the mad activity area or out of the clinic. Scary concept across the board. This is something that has to do with doctor-assisted death, where people, as someone that has looked into MAID, death with dignity, doctor-assisted euthanasia in their 20s and 30s, just hits different. It's amazing how you can give me all these different feels in such a short story. I think it can become a slippery slope. I didn't even know what MAD stood for. So I guess that's medically assisted death or something like that. Well, that was pretty dark there. But then again, this is dark and mysterious. Okay, Mark. Oh yeah, you're saying good night to Michelle. Okay. Is anybody liking any of this? Have we got any thumbs up on this? Was this something that you guys enjoyed? I don't know. Please give me a thumbs up if you do enjoy these stories. This is another one by K.G. Lewis. Yeah, she's getting ripped apart by the mosquitoes here. This is called The Shortest Date Ever. And this one is pretty short, so here we go. Why don't you go and grab us some drinks while I find us something to watch, Sheila said. Okay, Brett replied. He got up and went into the kitchen and opened the fridge. While looking to see where the beer was, he came upon an unlabeled mason jar full of oddly shaped worm-like objects suspended in a cloudy liquid. He picked it up. I forgot this was in there. Sheila had come into the kitchen and was looking over Brett's shoulder. What is it? Brett asked, bringing the jar closer to his face so he could better examine its contents. It's the lips of all the men who have lied to me, Sheila replied. Da-da-da. Okay. Yeah, at least the fire is back, right, Mark? Yeah. You got 3 thumbs up. That's pretty bad. Dowdo Gaming. But yes, everybody is awesome. Cool. It's hard to sometimes get thumbs up on videos, you know? You get, I'll tell you, for every 100 views, we get 100 likes. You know, and that's pretty much the way it goes when you're a small channel. The key to helping our channel out is not just watching the videos, but to hitting the like button and sharing the video, that sort of thing. YouTube doesn't see comments on a video, even if you enjoy the video, they won't help share the video out to a wider audience. And that's kind of where we're at right now as a channel. We kind of get stuck in that low level because you're just not getting, it's not getting shared out enough. And that's the way the algorithm of YouTube works. If you're not getting thumbs up and comments, yeah, the slot channel, Minimax Slots, that's still a work in progress. We're trying really hard to get that one going too. But when you go live on that one, it's even more difficult to get the people to you don't get good coverage, because people don't know whether or not they have the notification bell triggered. Kaz Solo is popping in. I don't know if we're going to go live tomorrow or not. It's up to, I don't know how I'm going to feel. I'm thinking I'm 50-50 on tomorrow. Why, do you guys want me to go live tomorrow night? I'll do it. This is called The Night Visit. And this one only got 1 thumbs up, so I'm not quite sure. But we're going to read it anyway, okay? I'll never forget this. It happened to me before. I was home alone at the time. I live in a city, so there are times when drunk people or teenagers walk by our apartment at night, which sometimes wakes me up. That night, I woke up suddenly and looked around the room and also at the half-open door to my room. I could hear the neighbors arguing above me, which is probably what woke me up. I couldn't hear exactly what they were saying. They were just yelling at each other. Suddenly, someone started banging hard on the front door. It was 3 consecutive blows. I was scared. Luckily, I locked the door every night. Still, I didn't know what to do. I couldn't move. My heart was pounding so hard I didn't have the courage to go and see who was the visitor. All I could do was close my eyes and tightly and hope that no more blows would come. In the morning, I woke up all sweaty. I wasn't sure if it had really happened. The door looked fine, and the lock was still locked. I didn't know who it was that night. If it was a neighbor, it would have taken him at least a minute to come down to my door, but the banging started out nowhere during their argument. I don't usually have any dreams, and when I do, it's never that drastic. I'm still afraid it'll happen again. Yeah, I don't know what that was. That was, ahoy. That one was missing something right there. The Daily Call by Kinda Not Smart. Okay, this one's a little bit longer. Okay, this is by, again, Kinda Not Smart, The Daily Call. Growing old is lonely. I'm 72, and most days it's just me and the silence. Children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, they all love spending time with me when they were young, but life gets busy, and eventually they just don't have the time for someone old and boring. I get it, I really do. But not my son. At 33, he never drifted away. He calls me every single day without fail. Our daily phone call. He also helps with my dementia. Asks me the question the doctors recommended, do I know what year it is? What country we live in? My name, age, address. What's supposed to keep my mind sharp? Lately, though, something's been off about our calls. Could be my dementia, but sometimes I hear strange noises in the background. Static, distant voices, whispers. He says it's just a bad connection or blames the TV. For the past 3 weeks, my son has been planning to visit me. I'm in Missouri and he's out in California, so it's not easy. But today is the day. He's on his way. And as always, even though he's coming to see me, he had our daily call. We went through the usual questions, my name, my age, my address, and then I got the call, and so I put him on, then I got another call, and so I put him on hold. Ma'am, this is Officer Roberts with the Los Angeles Police Department. I'm sorry to call you like this, but we need to speak with you about your son. We've been trying to reach his next of kin. What's going on, officer? Is he in some kind of trouble? There was a pause. And then he was choosing his words carefully. I'm afraid it's more serious than that. I'm sorry to have have you find out like this, but we just got the test back. We're finding out that at the same time as you. I'm afraid your son's body was found 3 weeks ago. No, that's not possible. I've been talking to him every day. He's on the other line right now. He's coming to visit me. Ma'am, unfortunately, it's true. The DNA was conclusive. I've been talking with anybody. Please be aware that the person you're speaking to isn't your son. My confusion turned to a cold, gripping fear. I hung up on the officer, my hand shaking and switching back to the line with my son. I couldn't speak. Just held the phone to my ear in stunned silence. There was no sound, just heavy breathing on the other end. In my head, I replayed myself answering all those questions. My name, my age, my address. And then, just as the panic set in, the silence was shattered by a knock on my door. My bedroom door. The voice on the phone, now low and distorted, whispered, "I'm here, Mom." The line went dead. Whoa. Wow, that one was good. What did you guys think of that one? Pretty cool, huh? I liked it. Thanks, Gary. Someone said actually commented besides Mike. All right. I like those kind of stories like that where you don't know where it's going, you know, and then you find out, wow, that was intense. Okay, this one is Norman Crane, 2 days ago. Bring me my head of Boris Berutsky. Boy, okay. That was a good story. That got a lot of likes on there. Let's find another one. Oh, here's one. This one's got 509 likes. It's called Little Paws, like Paws. Yeah, I'm starting to get bit by the mosquitoes too. Hey, let me throw something on the fire really quick here before it goes out completely. There we go. I kind of forgot about the fire. Sorry, everyone. Okay. Yeah, here I am sitting. You guys don't realize how silly. Watch this. This is me reading the stories. Let's do this here. This will make it a little bit more interesting until the fire gets going again, okay? Here we go. This is called Little Paws. The people who think my cat is aggressive don't know how good it feels to hear their little paws outside my door. It makes me feel secure, especially at night. She was an older cat who I rescued from the streets when I was 7. When I was 7, okay. It sounds strange, but she took good care of me. She hissed and spat at everyone else, but for me, she was the gentlest, sweetest kitty. After a hard day at school, I'd come home and press my face into my cat's soft fur. She would purr me to sleep. Sometimes she would go on long walks, but she always came back in time for bed. I'd hear her little paws. Hold on. On my room, past my room, and I know I wasn't alone. I remember the night I came home from school with a black eye and a broken hand. Nobody believed me when I said that the teacher did it. My cat licked my bruises clean and went out for her nightly walk. I waited for her to come back, but when she was out all night, it wasn't like her to do that. The next morning, we had a substitute teacher. They said that our regular teacher had an accident. Something ran out into the road and startled her while she was driving. She crashed his car and died instantly. My cat came home that night purring. Wow. Okay, I like that one too. I'd like to think that that's a warm milk of tuna kind of love. Okay. That was Little Paws by Intrepid Wanderer. Here's one called From Trash Tia. And our fire is dead, so I'm not even going to bother with it anymore. Okay, you guys? It's just me and you and the stories, okay? Yeah, that was a mean cat. That cat deserves... Yeah, leave it till a person named Meow to say, give the cat a treat, right? Okay. This is from Trash Tia. My sister and her roommates are a little too obsessed with plants. That's the name of the story, okay? My sister and her roommate are a little too obsessed with plants. Noah was my sister's roommate. His smile was charming, brown curls falling over friendly eyes. The sweater he was wearing, however, was discolored and crumpled. He gestured inside. Rosie's kinda tied up at the moment, but I can get you a drink. He strode down the hall and took a moment to take in Rosie's place. There were flowers everywhere, hanging from the ceiling, potted plants overgrown in every window. Noah seemed to be a plant boy, which explained Rosie's infatuation. There was a blonde in the living room, kneeling by the window, her head tipped back, bathing in the afternoon sunlight. Rosie had mentioned another girl, Tessa. I followed Noah out into a beautiful greenhouse filled with every flower I could think of. Noah grabbed a hose and watered each of them with perfect precision, kneeling over them like they were his children. He didn't care about the dirt, standing barefoot, tending to each stem. When he was finished, he picked up the hose and sprayed himself, gulping water from the nozzle. I noticed the crown of daisies entangled in his curls. No wonder Rosie was obsessed. I asked for a bathroom, and when he directed me with his finger, I headed down the hallway. I found myself pushing through tangled vines and flowers, physically blocking the door. I glimpsed a pink flower starting to bloom, contorting and expanding before it opened up. I was already back away from when a human face, a familiar face, sprouted through the withering petals. Rosie, I saw her bulging stomach first, reedy vines wrapped around it, but my sister was dead. Her lips were gray, writhing vines of green spider webbing across her face, yet the thing on her stomach was moving, bulging, stretching her skin. She wasn't the only one. There was a guy too, his body mutilated, hollowed out, and filled with plants. I was paralyzed when something sharp entered the back of my head. It was moving around. I could feel it forcing its way through my skull. I'm glad you're here. Noah's voice came from behind me as a second vine protruded through my skull. When he stepped in front of me, his right eye contorted and bloomed, a bright pink flower taking its place. I could see the thing coming alive. Now just in and around us, rustling leaves like they were laughing. Noah's skin was moving, tiny flowers blooming from his spine, entangled and rooted in the bone. The vines inside my head squeezed tighter, and like it was a hive mind, the thing wrapped around its head, chittering like it was delighted. There was a brief moment when his hands came up, clawing at the greenery sprouting from his skull before they went limp, and when the thing inside my head reached my brain, twisting and tangling itself around my skull, my thoughts grew foggy, my lips breaking out and into grin I couldn't control. Noah mirrored my smile, blood-stained petals slipping from my mouth. Third time's a charm. Wow. All right, you guys. We're almost out of time here. Yeah, it's like a lot like a little shop of horrors scenario there. You guys want me to read another story? I need some input. We got Munchies here after the story. We might read one more for you guys, and then we'll call it a night. Let's find a good one here. Okay, this has got, wow, 1,300 likes on this one. It's called Delivery Room by Intrepid Wanderer. And the fire is officially dead. So this is the story right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. All right, Delivery Room. Final story of the night. My grandmother, ooh, there's a bug on my screen. Oh yeah, got it. Okay. My grandparents were worried when I said I decided to get the shot. They're a bit old-fashioned, but they mean well. The thing is, it's 2084. Most people who can get the shots just go ahead and accelerate through all 9 months of pregnancy. A baby can be born as soon as the parents, like no need to endure morning sickness or false warnings for labor. And miscarriages are nearly a thing of the past. Most babies are accelerated at the first warning. Medical technology is truly amazing. Not everyone accelerates. Some people worry about those obscure studies on bonding ability in accelerated babies. Some consider it natural course of unmissable experience, and some just don't have access to it. Most of the time, though, people accelerate. I was so excited to get to the hospital. I didn't even get an ultrasound done first. The test was positive, and I was about to see my baby anyway in a few minutes. There were the occasional horror stories. Most of them were urban legends, tales of some quack who messed up and made horrific things happen. Truth was, there was very little to mess up, especially at a nice hospital like this one. With today's medications, I could expect to hardly feel the labor and go home with my family on the same day. They said I'd feel a tingling in my abdomen, maybe even some light kicking. At first I did, but it was more uncomfortable than I imagined, and it was like a twisting, stretching sensation inside of me. I hated to imagine what it might have been like if the shot didn't also act as an anesthetic. I tried to close my eyes and breathe through it. Something was soaking through the bed. Must be my water breaking, but it smelled metallic. And I was so dizzy. Why didn't I hear crying? Shouldn't it have worked by now? Someone started shouting, but I couldn't open my eyes to see why. The last thing I heard before losing consciousness was a doctor asking about ultrasounds and the word ectopic pregnancy. What the hell is that? Well, whatever it is, it sounds horrible, okay? Here's one of the comments. This is absolutely unsettling and horrific, so that makes it an absolute winner in my opinion. And there's another one. This is absolutely fantastic. Not what I thought was coming, but so much better. Nightmare Fuel. Thanks for that. Great read. All right, you guys. Did you guys enjoy this? After the video is posted and on YouTube, make sure you comment in the chat and let me know if you enjoyed this. And if you did enjoy it, I'll do this again. Okay, we got 3 people that I know liked it, at least. You got Mike M. Hayes, Mark Wald, and Meow. You 3 have been awesome tonight, and I can't say thank you enough for helping out with the chat and being there for me and reading, and corresponding back with me, We started out pretty strong. Yeah, I know, I'm just sitting in the dark right now. I was with a fire, but the fire went out. And so I'm here by myself in the backyard reading to my phone. I don't know what's more weird, me doing this or these stories. Both kind of weird. But hey, whatever I got to do for you guys, this is what I do. Michelle, I get it. The bugs are happening. They're all over the screen over here and attacking as I go. And I know I'm going to have bites all over my leg. But this is what it is. When you're a YouTuber, you got to do what you got to do for you guys. And if you guys liked it, maybe I'll do it again. I don't know. I like doing it. All right. I guess with that being said, I want to say good night, everyone. Thank you all. And as we get closer to Halloween, I think we'll be doing more of these. I like these kind of Halloween. We're getting closer to that season of craziness. So, yes, we'll do more of this, okay? All right, you guys. Have a good night. Have a great week. I'll see you guys. And maybe tomorrow we'll do the live stream. I don't know. Good night, you guys. Bye.